Hey, how y'all doing out there? Listen, I just want to explain something because I'm not crazy and a lot of you ain't crazy, but I think a lot of y'all have either forgotten just the recent past or last 2 to 6 years or maybe even probably since Bill Clinton. But if you would look at Clinton, Bush, and Obama, every election, because these all these presidents ran twice and run twice, so they took almost a quarter of a century of time from the president's position with three presidents, and everybody was always pointing out their triangles and the way they did their hands and the things that they wore and the symbolism in Washington D.C. and everybody. Well, since George Washington's been warning of the Illuminati since 1789 in one of his first speeches, um, we pretty much know that the Illuminati's out there. We know a little bit of their symbolism. And when y'all asked me, 17 years ago, Bush was holding up a triangle and his dad ushered in the New World Order and the son made sure it happened and 10-year plan and September 11th and all this symbolism. And then Obama, he gets in and that man couldn't sit down and scratch his nose, and that was some Illuminati symbol, and he was the Antichrist even, and all this other stuff. And we saw it in Hillary Clinton with her doing her fingers that way, and some of these establishment people, and some of these people that we just know they're not really so much the New World Order, it's their puppets, it's their main puppets, their establishment puppets, the people that just keep this thing going and going and going. And I looked at the symbolism with you. I watched these people's actions. I watch people's actions, by the way, and I'm pretty damn good at it. And I couldn't agree with you more. Every time one of y'all on the left or one of y'all on the right or one of y'all that see things left or right or even, or just some of y'all that point all of them out, all these Illuminati people, all these Bilderbergers, all these Council on Foreign Relations members, all these people, they don't have to be the president. They could be running for president like John Kerry and just making it look good. He's Illuminati. And look at all these people married to these super rich people and these baronesses and all these New World Order scumbags. And that's fine and dandy. But the thing is, it was all good when it was all down. But have you not even and I know this is all gonna seem like an attack on Trump, and man, you're just not trying to give him a break. But have y'all not? He was being called Illuminati a long time ago, or at least like one of their little lapdogs. He's like want to be Illuminati. He's like, I want to be one of y'all. I want to be one of y'all. I'll talk bad about you like I do the Hollywood people. He's always hanging out with the Hollywood people. He is a billionaire, but he's up and down with it, so he really didn't keep it going. In other words, he's kind of been kept in the position he's in because I think what he really does well is he's a salesman. He's a salesman and he's an actor because most salesmen are actors, and that's just part of that trade. You got to. That's why it's a salesman. You got to sell a part of your being a man to sell something. And I ain't putting that down. Some people do it for good things, but when you're selling your resources, when you're selling people's land, when you're selling national parts, when you're selling our military, when you're selling our government, when you're selling us, we the people, that's a whole different story. And it takes a crude person, and he's that kind of person that can do that. So, but y'all never want to pay attention to him and his just throwing up the mark of the beast all the time, or whatever you want to call it, the 666. Every time he sits down, he's shooting a triangle like he's wearing a jock strap. He throws out flat out blatant Illuminati symbols, but when you say something about him, it's attacking him. Well, when we said something about Obama shooting us Illuminati symbols, people said we was attacking them. It's always we're attacking them, and poor billionaire, poor president of the United States with a security force like you wouldn't believe. Poor untouchable president. Wow. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If it's Illuminati for the Republicans, it's Illuminati for the Democrats. It's just Illuminati in D.C. If you don't want to believe in all the Illuminati, you can't believe in a piece of it. You can't say, oh, well, this part of the New World Order might be good. This part of globalism might be good. No. Only part of globalism is good is that we trade off good things that we were coexisting with the planet, not VCRs or all the crap from back in the day that led into digital players that's now led into 5G telephones that you just get everything for. Pretty soon they'll just tack one of them things to your head. The thing is, they all work for these people. It's all corporations that try to run this country. They do have their symbolism. They do throw it in our face. They do have their weird meetings out there under a big giant owl in Bohemian Grove. They do these weird things, y'all. They have their own religion. They have their own way, and they have their own people in place. And you're going to go out tomorrow, and you're going to vote for them. And if you don't vote for them, you know who you're voting for? New members. New members. That system is ruined, y'all. It was taken over by the very things that you used to call evil. Wizards and warlocks and witches and it's all a hoax. At least they're coming out. Ever notice that in the news here over the last few days? They've been calling certain things hoaxes and all this kind of stuff. Well, there you go. They'll always throw a little bit of truth out there, just enough to keep you going. It failed. It's miserable. It was self-serving, and it ain't our fault, because in 1871, after the Civil War, we were broke, and the Rothschild Bank of England bought back the United States of America, and they made a whole new constitution, and they made corporations an entity that could lobby for laws, and they got time. Corporations don't work on a human lifetime scale. They work on these men think they're leaving their legacy for hundreds of years. But many of them are very evil. Many of them are in these secret societies, the Skull and Bones, all this kind of crap. You know all about it, but we don't want to talk about it. And that was the other thing about Trump. He's really not, I don't think he's any kind of Illuminati bloodline, to be honest with you. I think he's kind of like Faust. I know Faust, kind of like Faust made a deal with the devil and sold his soul to the devil, but to get his soul back, he had to go get other people to sell their soul. So he's kind of like a middleman for soul selling. But he did everything that's been done in the last couple years, y'all. Just the last couple years proves it's a path of destruction for the planet. Period. It just fuck us human beings. Yeah, we'll be gone. That's right. They've even thrown that mentality. I've heard that in talking points. Well, humans were only supposed to be here for a little while anyway. So we just work ourselves to our own death quicker, and so we're gonna be stupid as well as going out from being stupid. I think all that's stupid. I think some of the things y'all been getting told here lately are ridiculous. I think some of the things we fight over are petty as fuck. We try to talk about some of them, but some of them really are just designed to keep us bickering about these little petty things until whatever. They know something. You see it in the skies being sprayed. You see that our water's running out. You see that our kids are unhealthy. You see that you ain't probably in the best shape either. Everything's about getting the money and paying that next bill, and then now we're having to buy our water, and it all seems bad. Well, I don't think it's all bad. I don't think it's all bad at all. I think if we cut those TVs off and turned our back on this failed system, and just did our own thing and grew our own stuff and bartered and did the best we could. And no, it wouldn't be easy. And maybe the 1800s wasn't so bad. Maybe before the Industrial Revolution that spawned the military industrial complex, that spawned the quickening of the evolution that's going to lead to a lot of extinct life on this planet. You're damn right. Look at where it's gotten to. Maybe that ain't a bad way of living. And there was plenty of people, and there was plenty scattered around. It ain't about people. It's how you feed them. It's how these unsustainable cities gotta have something. All your cars and everything gotta have something. And there's no return to it. There's no return to that water that when you flush that commode. I mean, we even waste water over here. You got to go to other places that don't have water. You got to go to places that are arid. And you got to understand more than just what's in your backyard. But what you got to really understand is these people are all working for the same people. They're all using the same symbolism. They all shoot it in your face. They're all up there in the Super Bowl doing that. Whatever, man. That's their religion. They think shooting them signs at you and fooling you is their way of doing their black magic. And you want to call it black magic? I don't know another term for it. I think it is just black magic. I think it's very ancient. I think they're very ancient. I think they've been doing this shit for a long time. I'm sure the Bushes are straight up Illuminati, and nobody paid attention to a son and a father being in there and what happened in the 10 years. One saying it's coming and the next one brought it in. Nobody wants to really pay attention to that. And then the fact that they all do that weird ass Bohemian Grove stuff. Even Nixon didn't like that. I'm quoting Nixon. This was Richard Nixon, the president, saying this. He said that was the most faggoty thing he ever seen in his life, was them Bohemian Grove son bitches. But they got their own thing. they are weird. They are freaks. They are everything, like I said, that you would consider evil. That's why they put that up there, and then they hide in these certain places around the planet. But they're also control a lot of things, a lot of militaries, the oil, the big oil. These are the people like Rex Tillerson that run big oil companies like ExxonMobil. He's the king god of ExxonMobil. Dick Cheney was what ran Halliburton, and everybody thinks about Halliburton when they think about defense contractors, but you don't think about the fact that Halliburton also has every single fracking rig a right to be around it because they have the patent on the plastic concrete casing thing that's their baby. So they're involved in every fracking rig. So they make money just for that concrete casing. That's why you see them in all these towns. Plus, they're some of the best drillers in the world. So you got to really look at, you want to say one thing and it's good for this one guy because you hate him, but now you like this guy. So I'm just gonna ignore the fact that he's throwing up the damn symbolism to me that shows that he's in an elite club of about 5,000 or at least one of their, I don't know, familiars. I don't know what you call them, y'all, because to me, DC, the way the town is laid out, look at the layout of it. I don't care if you call it Masonic symbols or whatever. To me, I see symbolism of people that worship evil and that make money off the destruction of mankind. And look what they do. They make more money off us being fucking sick. They make more money off of us being divided. They make more money off us murdering each other and killing each other in their wars. And look, we've been at war forever. You've been at war your whole life, but it's not on your soil, so you don't think about it. But these people do, and they use your sons and daughters to fight these wars. They use your money to fund it, and they use your brain as some playland that they go in there and toy around with and give you this opinion and give you that opinion. But if they're sitting around shooting signs like that, think about that. And if it's good for one, it's good for another one. You might want to think about that too. Or it wasn't good for none of them, and it's just all something made up. But you call it what you want to. He works for him or he is New World Order. Big deal. I don't care. It's like they get, to me, it was like they set him up for this, and they gave him a nice trophy wife and plenty of money and said, here, go act like the United States American president and divide a nation with racism and fucking stupidity. That just go say the dumbest things, sound dumber than George Bush Jr. and they cheer you on, and you'll be famous. So he's famous. There you go, because that's all he's doing. Ain't doing nothing else. I ain't seen nothing change except for deregulation, mountaintop removal, all these things that were really, really evil, real evil shit. When you come to realize that all they want is the Marcellus Shale that runs under the Appalachian Mountains, and that they'll do anything to get rid of these mountains because they've already sold the coal bed that goes all the way from Maine to Alabama. It's already been sold. So they're just figuring out how to get it, and part of it is who you vote for and what you think about it, and they get your consensus, and nobody will fight it. And a lot of you don't want to fight it because it ain't in your backyard. And for you, I'm glad for that. I just want to say that, number one, I'm glad that you got clean water coming out of your tap. I'm glad that you can go out and swim in your pond or your creek out backyard, and I'm glad all that's good. But it is for almost over half of this country actually is basically pretty much toxic, and it has been since the 50s and 60s. Ever since the dumpage from and the pollution and all the crap from World War II and all those illegal that are now illegal weapons. What do you think? That stuff had a shelf life of 50,000 years. Do you think it's gone away or something? You think the radiation from the fracking's gone away? All these things you're going to go vote for or against tomorrow are going to happen until we stop them. But that's all I got to say about that. But don't tell me one day that Obama's the Antichrist because he quoted this or that, or he made a hand signal, and then the next guy's doing the same thing 10 times worse and wants to hang out with these kind of people. I see what I see, and you can't tell me what I see. And I think many of you see that, and I think that's one of your biggest problems. They'll actually have you cheering evil on because of one person, and that's fanaticism. That's being a fanatic. That's being a fan. We gotta watch and remember the old words. I'm learning a lot about remembering and sticking to defined words, because a lot of things get changed, a lot of things get cut down, and it's one thing to to lean somebody's way, but you're not being you. Not a one of these commercials that you're hearing all night and all. I'm on YouTube. This is what's driving me crazy. Once again, I'm just trying to listen to some tunes, and I just keep getting commercial after commercial, and now it's done got down to where it's not these other people talking. It's either Trump saying, look, just vote Republican. I don't give a fuck who it is. Just vote Republican. That's all you do. Vote Republican. I don't care. That's what you got to do. It's going to be beautiful. And then you got Obama. He's like, ha, 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 I knew this, man. You got to vote Democrat. They don't say vote for who. They don't say vote for the people. They don't say vote for the planet. They don't say vote for clean water. We done talked about this. The commercials are getting worse. It's just saying they're not even telling you. Matter of fact, you don't even know. You could go in there and not even see people on the ballot that you recognize and just make a vote because it's your party. And that's what they're trying to do tomorrow. I ain't name some candidates. Come on. Come on. That's all I hear in the advertisements are like covering everything. It's like the most general statement you can make. Vote Republican, vote Democrat. I'm the King Democrat model, and I'm the King Republican model. Follow our lead. So there you go. That it ain't even an election about getting anything. It's about getting Congress to do what? Suck up more big oil money, suck up more Chinese yen money, suck up more BRICS nations money while the BRICS nations get their power and the power structure and changeover happens right in front of us. We might as well be doing it on a friendly, united basis than all sold out in little pieces around us, or land's too toxic to bother with, or people too sick to fight back. But that's what you might be voting for tomorrow too, so think about that. It ain't about parties and stuff no more. It's about a failed system where corporations completely raped the rest of the world, and we were last, and now we're getting it just like everybody else. It's like, what we're going to do about it. Some people going to go vote about it, but I just want you to think about that. Think about it for real. And remember that the Illuminati, no matter who they are, they got their language, they got their symbols, they do their thing. And if you don't see them doing it, then you're blind and you don't want to see it. And sorry I bothered you. For those that wanted me to see the other people that did it and said they were nonpartisan, and I just wanted you to see Illuminati and Illuminati members. I see it. I see it in this president right now. I see it in the vice president. I see it in a lot of these cabinet members, both left and right too, as far as the Senate, because there are a bunch of establishment jackasses in there. And it's when are you going to step away from it and realize we got to save what little bit we got left? That's all. Peace. I love you, and don't live in fear.